You know those games that make you happy, like really happy? The ones you play when you've had a rough day at work or you're sat in front of the TV and decide the only thing you want to do is jump into a game that you'll find solace in. That kind of game. If you'd have told me at the start of the year that Yooka Laylee and the Impossible Lair was going to replace FIFA as my digital comfort food, as the game I stick on to switch off from the world, then I'd have laughed heartily in your face and called you a fool. But after giving my all to Playtonic Games' latest offering, I can honestly say this is one of the best games I've played all year. It's like a cold beer on a hot summer's day or a big hug when you're feeling down. I just couldn't stop playing it. And it isn't a singular thing that makes it such a fantastic 2D platformer, rather it's a whole bunch of simple features that open up the game to be more than just a bunch of levels and collectibles. It's the overworld that you explore, looking for new tonics, collecting twit coins, and meeting loads of weird and wonderful characters. It's the refined controls and the variety of level design that makes each one both a challenge and a hoot to play. It's the humour, the colourful environments, the thrill of collecting the quills, and the way that Yooka and Laylee work together to overcome their enemies. The gist of the story is that you're tasked with rescuing Queen Phoebe's royal battalion guards in order to give you more protection in the Impossible Lair, which is a fiendishly difficult level that you can access from the start. Although some people will overcome Capital B's maze of insanely tough dangers, playing through the rest of the levels is imperative for those of us that need a little help from your friends. Plus, the 2D levels are so good that you're going to want to play every one anyway. Every level has a vast number of challenges to overcome. Big spiders, spinning blades, lasers, moving platforms, turrets that spit fire, and a whole host of other crazy enemies. They mix up the gameplay so you can be running away from dangerous obstacles or jumping over them, reaching seemingly unreachable platforms, and using precision to get those twit coins Trouser the Snake loves so much. Each level has 5 of these coins to collect, so searching every inch of the map can result in finding one of them, and even if a hidden area doesn't give you one, you might find a neon feather that spits out a load of quills, which is the game's currency. The controls aren't complicated, but learning to use them effectively is the difference between success and failure. You can use a roll to take out multiple enemies and gain a bit of momentum before jumping over a chasm, and when in the air you can spin, which allows you a brief gliding opportunity to get to those hard to reach platforms. If you get caught by an enemy or a projectile, Laylee will fly off, leaving you vulnerable as you won't be able to glide anymore, and if an enemy hits you while you're without Laylee, you'll return to the last checkpoint. Running past a Laylee bell will bring her back, but they aren't always readily available. You can break boxes to score some quills, but it's always worth checking before you do, as they can also be climbed on to reach collectibles. Gears with green neon logos can be found in boxes to use as a key to cages that might house a twit coin, and other items like springs and plant bulbs. They can all be found to aid you in other ways. Movement is so refined that it feels like a dream to control. Although the difficulty ramps up later on, the balance between the challenging level design and the great controls means that you're never left struggling for too long. In the overworld, you're going to get to explore every nook and cranny. The top-down 3D design adds a pleasant change to the 2D levels, and it offers plenty to see and do. There are a ton of secret passages and hidden items, and sometimes you're required to interact with the various oddball characters to find out how to get to certain areas. Different kinds of bombs can be picked up to destroy rocks or turn small flowers into big bouncy ones that launch you onto higher platforms, and there are also ones that rid various flora so you can get to unreachable places. New areas are blocked by a locked gate, which is Trouser's paywall, and in order to get them open you've got to submit your hard-earned coins to that cheeky Trouser Snake in order to move on. You'll also spend your quills on new tonics that can help you in the levels, provide more of a challenge, or just give you a random visual effect that adds some great filters to the levels. But the best feature in Yooka Laylee and the Impossible Lair is the secondary levels that can be unlocked when you interact with characters or objects in the overworld. For example, there's a point where you have to find 2 fan blades so a huge grate with eyes can start blowing out air. Both parts are found in cages, but you spend your quills to open them. Once you fix the sentient fan, it blows air into one of the levels, meaning you can jump back into the same level, except this time it's been restructured to provide a completely different experience. Other changes that can be made include freezing over all the water in a level, flooding a level, and releasing swarms of angry and bitey creatures that are a pain to avoid. The world of Yooka Laylee and the Impossible Lair is beautiful. Its bold and bright colours, various biomes, secret areas, and exceptional world building is both vast and entertaining. It's extremely funny for both children and adults, with fun jokes that lightly poke fun at the game and the characters, as well as the humour that lifts the mood through the actions of the enemies. Musically, it shines too. There are bouncy tracks that fit with the playful nature of the game, and incredible 80s inspired music that was surely put in to please the grown-ups. Yooka Laylee and the Impossible Lair knows exactly what it wants to be, and it succeeds in every way. The overworld is so much more than a filler between the levels, and the ideas that make these levels so entertaining always keeps you playing. The gameplay is refined, the world is polished, the humour is spot on, and if you weren't sure about playing this before watching, I hope you decide to give it your time. Not only is it one of the best 2D platformers this year, it's one of the best side-scrolling platformers of the century, rivaling Nintendo's own Donkey Kong.